Hi, my name is Glenn Romans, and I was asked to give a short video of what my abilities were and what my powers were. So this is that video. I have developed a brain training program that balances the energetic outputs of the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. It's called Sync4Life Program.com. As a result of this program, basically one of my main powers or abilities is the ability to understand things in unique and novel ways. So the subjects that I put my attention on, there's 4 of them, 5 of them actually: meditation, anxiety, or the relief or curing of anxiety, philosophy, the healing processes of the body and the brain, and something called the transfer of training rates within organizations. Transfer of training rates are basically the amount of information that an employee learns and subsequently retains after he's received any type of training from their company. So companies, corporations, and organizations are spending hundreds of billions of dollars every year to train and educate their employees, and it's estimated that many of those employees are only retaining 2% or less of the information that they received, of the training that they received. So these are the things that I understand: meditation, philosophy, anxiety, the healing processes of the body, and the transfer of training rates within organizations. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the benefits that my program has for different types of issues. And one of those issues is ADHD. Something that's interesting about ADHD is that children that have it, and adults, the left hemisphere of their brain is overactive and the right hemisphere of their brain is underactive. So the left hemisphere of the brain is responsible for initiating movement. Anytime you go to move or kick or run or jump or cook, whatever, it's your left hemisphere that fires so that you can start the movement. The right hemisphere of the brain is responsible for stopping movement. So people with ADHD, or even ADD potentially, the left hemisphere of the brain is overactive, the right hemisphere of the brain is underactive. So the program that I've developed, the Sync4Life, if any of you have watched me dancing, the dancing that I do, it basically, I start movement with a beat or with a drum or with a guitar or with a voice, and then I stop that movement and I start it again and I stop it again and I start it again, and I'm following the music, starting and stopping. So this dance that I teach is highly beneficial for people that want to balance their brain, that want to have more self-control, that want to have better focus and concentration. So the dance is very, very beneficial and very powerful. I'd like to talk about 3 types of activities or people that engage in activities. I'd like to talk about dancers, orchestra conductors, and Albert Einstein. And the question is this: what do all 3 of those groups of people, or groups of people and Einstein, have in common with one another? Okay? And before I answer that, I'd like to give you a little information about dance, orchestra conductors, and Einstein. Stanford did a study on dance, and it discovered a whole bunch of amazing things about dancers and the brains of dancers compared to people that didn't dance. And to make a long story short, dancing, very good for the brain. I suggest that you go on a Stanford study on dance, and you'll be able to read it online. So dancing makes people smarter, according to Stanford study. Orchestra conductors, interestingly, are the longest lived of any profession. So you got contractors, you've got attorneys, you've got orchestra conductors. Orchestra conductors live longer than any other profession, into their 90s, well into their 90s many times. That's documented. Albert Einstein was a genius. It's undisputable. I think we all believe that, agree with that. So he was a genius, and his brain was very unique. I suggest Googling his brain. You'll find a lot of interesting stuff about his brain. But what do dancers, orchestra conductors, and Einstein all have in common? And the answer is that they all engage in synchronized movement. Dancers synchronize their body when they're dancing. Orchestra conductors synchronize their upper body in their hands while they're orchestrating. Einstein synchronized his hand and arm movement because he played the violin for 70 years. So synchronization is very important for brain health. It's very important for body health. It's actually, synchronization brings joy because it's proven that dancing brings joy, singing brings joy. Movement in general that synchronized brings joy. So synchronized movement, very important. And that's what I teach, besides meditation. So to close it out, to not make it too long, synchronized movement is vital to good health, to good brain health, and to aging gracefully. I teach synchronized movement and I teach meditation. The participation of you or anybody in my program, Sync4Life it's going to cause you to have better focus and concentration. It's going to cause you to be more relaxed and more controlled and better able to control your reactions to stressful situations in your life. So it's going to improve you. It's going to improve you just like it's improved dancers, orchestra conductors, and Einstein. Lastly, Sync4Life is going to do profound things for the transfer of training rates within organizations. It's going to cause employees or people in general, workforce, sales teams, creative teams, innovative teams, it's going to cause these people to become more focused, more concentrated, more creative, more innovative. It's going to do wonderful things for the transfer of training rates within organizations. I'm very excited about that. So thank you for allowing me to share my skills and abilities and superpowers with you, and I look forward to speaking with you all soon. Thank you.